What if you don't need to live in pain and suffering? What if you could give up your karma and have a life of abundance and joy? What if you could start creating magic and miracles that you never thought were possible? Get ready to listen, share, and experience the magic that is you. Now, here's the host of Creating Abundance with Ease radio show, Dr. Helen Gitlevich.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our show is Happy New Year, Happy New You. I know it's a little bit after New Year, but still, Happy New Year. I haven't seen you live for a couple of weeks. So many of us are doing New Year resolutions to lose weight, start an exercise program, and we all decided that from New Year, it's going to be totally different. How many of you did that? So how many years it's been that we have done it? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. What if we are not wrong in either case? Let us explore the world of New Year, New You, and the tools of Access Consciousness, Akashic Records, and how we can use them in a daily life to change our lives for the better, to create a life of ease, joy, and glory. And I'm a medical doctor and quit medicine, traditional medicine, a few years ago to become Access Consciousness Facilitator, as well as Akashic Record teacher and founder of the School of Akashic Records, now podcast host. And I was always searching for the tools to create a different life. And now I invite people to a different possibility with their health, with their money, through private classes and sessions. So this new year, it was interesting because the last couple of weeks, you were listening to recordings, which is not bad, not good, just what it is, because I ended up with COVID. It's interesting how things change in perspective, because on New Year, of course, I did my resolutions, right? I will get healthier, I will do this, I will take care of myself. And my body said, yeah, you're going to take care of yourself. You're going to rest. And it wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I still have a little bit frog in my throat, as you can hear. But it was a time to reflect. It was almost like it slowed down, but it didn't slow down. It was the space of just being. Yeah, my body wasn't feeling very well, but it was interesting because I was almost like an observer for the whole universe. Being in that space, I wouldn't call it an illness because, yeah, I had cough, I had fever, I had all of that, but I wasn't feeling bad. It was just being present very intensely, having very intense awareness of what's going on with my body, with people around. And of course, I wasn't the only one who was sick around the world. So I was just being present with that and asking, who does it belong to? And that's my invitation to you. When things are not going well in the judgment of this world, this reality, what if we ask, who does this belong to? Because it's always a choice for us to be. It's always a choice to be present with everything that's going on in our lives, in the world, and choose for us. choose for us being present or withdraw, choose to be happy or miserable, choose to have a choice or not to have a choice. The funniest thing is not having a choice is still a choice. So, what if this new year we'll look at our lives, at the world, at everything that's going on with us, and ask, is it mine? Am I choosing for me? Am I choosing for the world? Am I choosing for somebody who is no longer even in my life? Which is interesting because a lot of times I caught myself, especially like being in bed and looking at stuff. I found myself, oh, wait a second, that thought was not mine. That actually sounded more like my mother. How often do we act, say, and be and act as our parents, our grandparents, our ancestors, not even realizing that, getting frustrated with things with when it's not even ours. So let's do a little exercise and just scan your body. If you have pain, if you have intensities, if you have thoughts, feelings, emotion, doesn't matter. Just scan your body, scan your mind, and ask, who does this belong to? Who does this belong to? All like those tools are from Access Consciousness. Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane Hare, they co-created Access Consciousness. That's not a cult like a lot of people think. It's not a religion. It's not philosophy. It's just a set of tools that helps us to create something different. Let's just be present with what is in our lives right now. And again, who does this belong to? What if it's just that simple? And letting go and just ask it to go back to where you picked it up, where you bought it from. Who does this belong to? Wow, that's interesting. Not mine. So, how much do we live our lives through the eyes, through actions, through things that don't even belong to us? More than 10% or less than 10%? More than 80%? Yeah, for some people it might be. I used to live my life based on the judgments that I picked up from school, from government, from my parents, from grandparents, from everybody. How often do you actually live your life through the judgments of what would my mother say? Oh, would she approve of this guy I'm dating? What if this new year we stop living our lives based on somebody else's points of view? Because think about points of view. Points of view are nothing more than the blind spots, because those points of view are fixed. We cannot move from that point of view. A few episodes ago, I was talking about my drawing class, because when I quit medicine, I went into art, did my associate in fine arts, and I did a drawing of a hallway, and I had to do a perspective from one point. I couldn't move from that point. And we each picked a point. each one of us had a drawing based on where we were sitting, from where we were looking. Each one drawing was so different. It's like we were in a different hallway. I'm like, are you kidding me? How is it possible? It's one hallway. And yet, the way we look at things, we see different things, sometimes opposite things. Think about it. The hallway has an entrance and an exit. If you're sitting in an exit looking at the entrance, it looks different than when you're looking from the entrance into the exit. Same in our lives. Every single thing, every single episode of our lives, every single stuff that happens has multiple perspectives. It's spherical. It's not flat. We are not looking at the picture. We are looking at the whole thing. And yet, we are looking only from one side a lot of times. With access consciousness, with Akashic Records, it allows us to create perspective from different points of view. We can just move. We can let go of the point of view and just look from behind, from the top, from the sides, and it will be a different thing. Because people say, oh, my point of view is right. And then we prove my point of view is right. But that point of view is nothing more than just point of view. Just allow yourself to move the molecules. Let's do another exercise. Think of an episode in your life. Let's say something that you're upset with, or somebody you're upset with. Got it? Cool. Now ask, who does this belong to? Who that upset belong to first? Oh, wait, some of it is not yours, right? Whew, a lot of it gone. Now, ask again. Who does that upset belong to? A little lighter again. And let's send it back and let's destroy everything that we're buying with that. Now, let's do something different. Let's move a little bit. Let's be upset. Let's indulge in that feeling of upset with that person, with that situation. And now, what if you move, change the molecule, and be grateful for what happened? Because it gave you an awareness. It gave you something that created something different, right? Okay. Now be upset again. And now let's move again. And not be upset, just be kind of like glad it happened, because now you have an awareness. Whew, even better. Now you can go back to original point and be upset again. Oh, wait, you don't want to do that, right? And it's time for our first break of the show. When we return, we'll talk more about New Year, New You, and how we can change our perspective and play with our points of view and who does it belong to a little bit more. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Inspired Choices Network. And we'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
I guess I was on mute. So welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today our show topic is New Year, New You. Happy New Year, Happy New You. And before we went on a break, we were talking about how a lot of things are not us. A lot of things are not what we considered our points of view. And a lot of it is just fixed points of view that we picked up from other people. Just an invitation to look from different perspectives. So we talked about that in the first part. Now I would like to talk about how we can choose and change our life if we decide to be an observer. Because a lot of times we are active participant, right? We are upset, we get hammered with a lot of emotions, feelings. And as I said in the first part, a lot of it is not even ours. But what if we actually be present in our lives as a participant, but also as an observer? It was funny because as I started talking about in the first part, I had COVID right around the new year, which kind of was interesting because it allowed me to be an observer in my life. And it's an eye-opener because when we are observing, there are no emotions, there are no feelings, so we can actually see what's true. And what I found out, nothing is true. Everything is a lie except us, except our being, except our body. And everything else is just a point of view. And our point of view creates our reality, as we know. We talked a lot about that. So if our point of view creates our reality, then what if we change our point of view, like I said in the first part? Wouldn't that change our reality? Yes, it would. And it was interesting how I was playing. Like, as I said, I couldn't do much. Couldn't go out, couldn't play, barely could talk. Still a little bit hoarse. But what if it's not important? What if it's just a transition? What if everything is magical? And instead of resisting it, what if we just allow everything in our lives? And be grateful for everything in our lives, how much would that change the perspective, and how much would that change our lives themselves? Let's expand right now. And you can find out that expansion exercise on my website, creatingabundancewithease.com. You can download it for free, but let's do it right now. Allow yourself to drop all your barriers and expand. If you don't know how, don't worry. Just take a deep breath from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes. Open your crown and allow the light of the universe to go through your body, through your feet into the center of the universe. It's interesting. Usually I say center of earth, but now it's center of the universe. And you don't have to know where it is. Just allow it and pull from the center of the universe through your body, through your feet, through your crown, and allow it to mix in your heart. And from that, see that ball. Just imagine. You don't have to, doesn't have to be fancy. Just imagine it as you pull the energy from top and bottom. See how it expands. Maybe a mile, kilometer, 100 kilometers, 100 miles. Doesn't matter what measure you use. Just go in all directions, up, down, sideways, front, back. And keep moving as a sphere, as I said, in all directions. Make yourself as big as our planet first, and allow yourself to receive all the energy that's coming. And now expand beyond that into the universe. Expand beyond our known universe into multiverse. And from that space, look at your life right now. Just allow it to kind of like put it on a plate with a blue plate with a little rim, whatever it is. But just allow yourself to look. Don't contract. Just be that infinite being. How big is your life right now? I hope it's bigger than you think, but if it's small, just look at it as an observer. Now, without contracting, move in as a participant, but just allow yourself to be that big. How big are your problems compared to you right now? They're small. And if you can see me, because I'm also on TV and on TV shows on multiple TV stations, it's about this big, kind of like a little space between two fingers. But you are enormous. So what if by being present in your life, you can change things by moving just one molecule? Let's do that. Let's look at any problems you have right now. See if there is any, like one point, like the point of view you have. Let's say, oh, it's bad, or my mother would not approve of him, or he is an asshole, or she is a bitch. Doesn't matter. Whatever point of view you have, let's first of all ask, who does it belong to? Whew. Wow, not yours. Cool. Let's send it back. And how is the situation? Is it shifting and changing in front of you, or is it still as solid? Probably not as solid. Let's see if there is another point of view that you can plug out and melt. Interesting. Wow. If you think of the problems as little pictures, what if you start erasing some of them? Just look at it as a screen where, you know how those toys kids have, where you draw and then you push a button and it disappears. Let's look at the problem you have in front of you, just like that screen that you drew on, because you're the one that drew the picture. And let's push a button that dissolves it. Whew. Cool. I like it. And it's time for our second break of the show. And when we return, we'll talk more about New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New You. And we'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Magic and abundance are everywhere. What if you could tap into abundance and start creating your life with complete and total ease? Working with Dr. Helen Gitlevich will give you exactly that, total ease in creating abundance in your life. Dr. Gitlevich creates classes all over the world, both in person and online. She works with you to create abundance with your money, with your body, with your relationships, with all areas of your life with total ease. Connect with Dr. Helen Gitlevich at creatingabundancewithease.com. Her contribution in your world will be a noticeable gift in a very short period of time.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. And I am Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today our show topic is Happy New Year, Happy New Year, and Happy New You. And in the first couple of parts, we were talking about points of view. Who does it belong to? That a lot of things don't belong to you. And when you change your point of view, a lot of times things change, as well as you can choose to erase everything, because all of that is just points of view. And you can find out more about tools of access consciousness and Akashic Records on my website, creatingabundancewithease.com. You can find out more about my classes that's coming up, where I will be in the world in the next few months. and also on Linktree. Everything is in the description of the show. So you can contact me on different social media like Facebook, Instagram. I think I'm on VK right now, but haven't been that much. And I do classes both in English and Russian. And I do shows in English and Russian. I believe in a couple of weeks it will be a show in Russian. So you're all welcome to join me, because in reality, it doesn't matter what language we speak, because the first language is energy. Because when we talk about our lives, everything is just energy. Because when we look at things, when we look at solid things, like the computer, like the table or our bodies, they're not actually solid. We already know if we go into physics of things, things not what they seemed. If we look under the microscope, the body has cells. The cells consist of little organs in the cells, and then there are molecules, atoms, electrons. But when we break down, it's all energy vibrating at different frequencies. And the only thing that solidifies the energy is our point of view, the expectations. You ever seen What the Bleep Do We Know? And you've seen that experiment in many movies and many discussions where energy, depending on how you look at it, who is looking at that, behaves in a different way. Like they did an experiment with electron. An electron can behave as a wave or as a particle. Light can be as a particle or a wave. And when there was no observer, the results were the waveforms. The observer changed the perspective, changed the point of view, created solidity in the world of energy. That's how we solidify our lives. In reality, it's not good or bad. We do need solidity. We do need our table to eat on. We do need our computer. We cannot kind of like have it so our fingers go through the computer. I wish we can go through the walls, but again, what if you don't want to go through the wall? What if you would like the wall to separate you from your neighbors who are very noisy? So it's all about points of view and perspective, what we expect, what we don't expect. And what if it's about choice? Same with magic. Magic is the fluidity of life. Magic is that feather touch of awareness where we can just, oh, this is how it can be. And we can choose that. And yet we can choose that, oh no, it cannot be. It's impossible. Not based on this reality. That's where being an observer and looking from beyond the bubble of your problems is where you can see and change and create different reality. What if it's that simple? Because as we know, by looking at things, we change things. By having a point of view, we change things. And what would create if you actually didn't have a point of view and allow things to unfold? And that's when the wave comes in. That's when everything can melt and change and shift and create a different reality. So how much are we refusing that? What if in this new year, this part of reality we can allow ourselves to be present without points of view. Just for a second. You don't have to do it all the time, especially if it's not even ours. What if we can create a simple tool? Anytime when we have a point of view, we would ask, who does this point of view belongs to? Who does this point of view belongs to? And then move. Who does this point of view belongs to? And then move again. Who does this point of view belongs to? And move again. Go to the exit. Go to the entrance. Go to the side. Go to the top. Go to the bottom of the things that's going on in your life. And just ask, who does this belong to? And then if after removing everybody else's points of view and you have your own, you can ask, is this point of view works for me still? Is it relevant to me? Do I actually need to hold on to that? And what if we can just let go of that and just be? And be expanded. If you're joining us now and you didn't do exercise in the second part of the show, you can go back and listen to it, or you can just expand right now. And from the expansion, look at the energies in your life and see if you can shift and change them, and see if you can melt them. What if you can just desolidify everything in your life? What would that create? What if you could live your life with no point of view? How much would that change your life? No point of view. Whew. Let's do it again. Who does this belong to? Because things fly. I'm talking about, like, literally. Think of the universe full of energy, because it's not empty. The air, the people, thoughts, feelings, and emotions are not just in our brain, because we transmit them and we pick them up like antennas, like cell towers, like the phones. Not necessarily through those media, but just think of it. Close your eyes for a second and look at the thoughts in your head. How many of them are actually inside you and how many are outside of you? A lot of it is outside of you. Yeah. So how many other people have thoughts and feelings outside of their heads? And guess who's picking them up? Us. Like each one of us. Same like we're not separate. Same like we breathe out air. Like breathe in, breathe out. Like for a second, just bring your attention to your breath. And just breathe in. And then breathe out. And notice those molecules that you breathe out, they go out somewhere. And somebody else will be breathing in. And you're breathing somebody else's molecules into your body. That's how we share everything. Share the thoughts, feelings, emotions, illnesses, bacteria. But in reality, no bacteria, no virus can enter our body and create illness unless we have a solid point of view for that to catch on. That's it. And a lot of time that point of view is hidden, not necessarily in air. Anytime when we resist to react, anytime when we align and agree with something, those points of view are stuck. And a lot of them are not even yours. So let's do a little cleansing by asking, who does this belong to? Whew. And what does this belong to? Because maybe something is not even animate object. It might be a point of view of a stone, because everything has consciousness. And we talk a lot about that in different shows. You can listen to the archive. I have over 100 shows right now where you can listen to different topics, different things. Because in 1 hour, I cannot cover everything that I know or don't know or just comes in. Because a lot of things just pop into my head, and a lot of times it's not logical. And does it have to be logical? No. Because a lot of things that create the limitations might or might not be logical. A lot of it conflictual. You might have conflictual points of view that create lack. Let's say money is usually the easiest topic or the hardest topic to talk about. But if you have a point of view that money is evil that you picked up from some lifetime ago, or that you need money, those two cancel each other. So you cannot have money if you have those points of view. And especially if you have points of view, they fill up the void. They fill up the space where you can fill up with something that creates more for you. Wow, time flies. We're coming on our third and final break of the show. When we return, we'll talk more. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Inspired Choices Network. And we will be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today our show topic is Happy New Year, Happy New You. With everything that's going on in the world, we talked about that a lot of points of view we have is not ours, that we can melt them, that we don't need to solidify energy into solid points of view, and we can create magic. You can listen to the other 3 parts of the show. With that, I just want to remind you that you can find out about what I'm doing, where in the world I am. I'm going to Ukraine in February to do foundation, body class, and a couple of other small classes. I also will be in Turkey in March, in Istanbul, co-facilitating a body class. So you can find out more about my schedule on creatingabundancewithease.com, on accessconsciousness.com websites. You can reach out to me directly through email, through Facebook. There is a business page, Creating Abundance with Ease on Facebook. There is an Instagram page with my name, Helen Gitlevich. Just find me. A lot, and I'm doing this show podcast every Wednesday, 11 o'clock Central Standard Time, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and wherever your time in the world, it's every Wednesday. And I'm pretty much on every podcast station and the Binge TV, 50 channels where you can watch the show live or recorded. Just tune in and allow yourself to be you. It's not about listening to me. It's not about being more of, oh, I'll listen to this one. They know what they're doing. No, you know more. You know more about your life. I'm just here to offer you some tools that might or might not work for you. Always look at them and see if they work for you. Use them. If they don't use them. This is more about empowering you to know that you are the source of your life. You are that creates every solidity and every magical moment in your life. My invitation to you to be the participant, to be the active participant, and also an observer where you can see where you can shift and change, where you can solidify things that work for you into a creation that will be magical, or erase it, that things that don't work for you, by pushing that little button on the picture and say, oops, that doesn't work for me. Bye-bye. And with all of that, it's a point of view that solidifies things. So if you let go of the point of view, guess what your life will be? I wonder. I have no clue, but you might. Just keep asking. What else is possible? How does it get any better than that? With all of that, it's about creating a different reality with space, with being space, with creating space where you can receive more, where you can receive more magic, where you can, this new year, create more happiness in your life instead of solidity, judgment, points of view, and misery and suffering. Because having COVID for the last couple of weeks actually allowed me to think it wasn't suffering. Because people say, oh, it's illness. Yeah, but I'm so grateful for experiencing that. Because without that, I wouldn't be able to tell people, it's like, guys, anything in your life can be a gift. Because I know I talk a lot about my heart disease, because that's what kind of stopped me 20 years ago, where I had open heart surgery at a young age, where I couldn't work. And people would say, oh my God, this is horrible. It was such a gift, because it allowed me to change my perspective, to change my tracks. Same like with COVID, it was like, oh, interesting choice for me. I chose to get sick, chose to solidify that. But that was an experience where I learned so much, where there was so many unusual kind of twist and turn, and I grew from that. So I know my producer is reminding me to say that next week we'll be talking about infinite choice and infinite possibilities. where we will dive more into how can we change our point of view, how can we change our life based on our point of view, and how can we change everything by desolidifying things that not working in our lives. We have only a few minutes left in the show, but doesn't mean anything. Next week, next show is everything new, and you can always listen to archives, and you can listen to this show multiple times. It might change something. And what I found a lot of times when I listen even to my own shows, I hear things that I didn't hear the first time. And people say, oh, you've changed your mind. It's like, wait a second, that's a recording. How can I change my mind on the recording? But maybe it is magic. Maybe I did change my mind and the things changed on the recording. Who knows? This is just an invitation for playing with something that is maybe a little bit beyond this reality, that can create something more magical, more fun, more ease, more joy, more glory in your life. And again, just ask, who does this belong to? Even things like when you're eating too much, ask, who am I eating for? If you're drinking too much, ask, who am I drinking for? If you're upset, who am I upset for? Whose upset am I feeling? And just allow it to go back. What if it's that simple? And what if you can be grateful for anything in your life, including good, bad, and ugly, including wonderful, including upset, including illness, including people that you might not like or who might not like you? What if you look at that from the perspective of, I'm just experiencing this. I'm just a being in the body, experiencing all the wonders that this life has. Because that's what it is. When the being, the soul, leaves the body, it cannot touch, it cannot feel, it cannot smell, it cannot taste. All it does, it has infinite amount of love and oneness, and yet we have no idea what the being experienced when it's not in the body. But what if we be grateful for every moment we are in this body, no matter what this body is giving us an awareness of? And this is about us choosing more for us. This is my invitation. This is my hope and dream that we all choose more consciousness, more awareness, and be present in our lives instead of not, and be grateful for everything that we did or didn't do, for everything that we experienced or didn't experience. And I know it's only a minute left for us. Just wanted to remind you, find me if you have any questions. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. And we'll be back next Wednesday with infinite choice, infinite possibility. Love you all, and grateful for everyone that listen now, live, and in the future. Bye-bye.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Creating Abundance with Ease radio show. Dr. Helen Gitlevich will return next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have fun using the tools of the week in your life and start creating magic in your life and your body.